very warm welcome to Let's Get It On with me, Suzanne Letting. Each week we're going to be listening to brand new releases from artists all over the globe. So now's the time to grab that cup of tea, that cup of coffee, or even a glass of wine as we get lost in some fabulous music.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello and a very warm welcome to your Saturday night here on Let's Get It On with me, Suzanne Letting. It's been a scorcher of a week, hasn't it? And I hope your Saturday has also turned out to be scorching. We're going to kick off tonight's show with lots of hot new releases for you. First up is Sunset Wave with Highway, and I think they're going to set the tone for tonight's show. Sunset Wave there with Highway. You won't find them on Facebook, but you will find them on Instagram and also on Spotify. Next up is the Lightning Kids with Lost.
I need to talk to you.
Took the highway
edge of desire.
Was the Lightning Kids with Lost. Now they've got a new album which is going to be released in November 2025, and it's about teenage desire, running away, losing yourself and finding yourself after love. It's set against a background of driving through the desert listening to FM radio, and that's exactly what I do. I listen to them in my Beastie, as you know, and don't forget all the artists that you're listening to tonight have been uploaded to the Beastie tracks on Spotify. You'll be able to find the link on my Facebook page. Who've I got following the Lightning Kids? Well, none other than Perfect Female Type. This is Mole Patrol. perfect female type there with Mel Patrol, hailing all the way from Minneapolis. Next up, Positronic is back with us with a brand new track, In the Stars Tonight. Positronic there is none other than Michael L. McDonald, who's been making electronic synth music since 1988, and he is from the Inland Empire in Southern California. Next up is a brand new track. Well, it's not a new one because it has been released before, but this is my track under my artist name of Suni. But RC&T took the instrumentation and completely remade it for me and took my vocals and added them to it. This is Star Seeds, and it was inspired by a revelation that scientists have discovered that our planet's planets emit their own sound, and each planet has a different sound. So I use those, and they are woven into the backdrop of this track to make this track called Star Seeds. And there is a theology out there that we are star seeds, that we come from the planets, and that we are evolving into more enlightened beings. So this is my track, and it's more of a ballad really than most of my other tracks, but that's what I want to do, is I experiment making tracks so that I understand the complexity and the inspiration behind the tracks that you're listening to on my show by these fabulous artists. I can only hope to be as good as they are.
The earth from space is so fragile. I see it as a whole, the ultimate whole. There are no boundaries, just blue and green. There is no separation between you and me. This is what we are. This is what we are. Star seeds. We are what we are. Star seeds. I hope we evolve with love and light, in peace and harmony, to protect and guide. This is what we are. Star seeds. We are what we are. Star seeds. This is what we are. Star seeds. We are what we are. Star seeds.
That was Suni, that's me, with Star Seeds, and you would have heard some of the planetary sounds there right at the end of that track, just to add that little bit of creativity at the end. Next up is Bending Grid and the Safety Word. This is the universe within, quite a nice one to follow on from that theme.
Shaken to the core, returning back home. Death is not real, but some release from this realm.
Bending Grid and the safety word there with The Universe Within from the album The Universe Within. Bending Grid hails from Somerville in South Carolina, focusing on synthwave, retrowave and popwave genres. So what am I going to follow that up with? Well, none other than Cold Connection. This is Forever and a Day, and it's from the album Forever and a Day. Was Cold Connection with Forever and a Day, and they are a Swedish synth pop act, electro pop band from the world renowned Swedish Synth Pop League. And following Cold Connection is Heartbreak City with Run to You, and I'll tell you a little bit about them when we come back, because they are going to lead us up very nicely into set 2 just for you here on Spectrum On Air, the colourful voice of radio.
Mexico, or anywhere you wanna go. Hey baby, yeah, we always seem to come to life in darkness of the night. With you I see the light. You're my kind of crazy, alive wire lady. Never tell me that you ain't coming through. If I'm your dirty secret, just promise me you'll keep it. I wonder why does every little thing you do make me wanna run to you. Hey baby, through the lips are whispering a million thoughts about it. Can't help but fantasize about you and the skinny jeans. You're telling me that you ain't keeping on. Naked's where we belong. Right out of the 80s, a live wire lady. And my Van Halen shirt looks so good on you. If I'm your dirty secret, just promise me you'll keep it. I wonder why does every little thing you do make me wanna run to you. Oh, why does every little thing you say make everything feel okay? Something about your strut and the way that it moves in your hair just get me close to that body, baby. I ain't going nowhere. Oh, why does every little thing you do make me wanna run to you? You make me wanna run. If I'm your dirty secret, just promise me you'll keep it. Every little thing you say makes everything feel okay. Something about your strut and the way that it moves in your hair just pull me close to your body, baby. I ain't going nowhere. Does every little thing you do make me wanna run to you? Oh, why?
That was Heartbreak City with Run To You. Now, they hail all the way from South Wales in the UK and they formed in 2023. It's led by Tony Davey, Aled R. Evans and John Lillygreen, and they blend their lifelong love for 80s musics with modern elements of rock, pop and soul, creating a sound that feels both nostalgic and refreshingly original, and they led us very nicely into set 2. Now, Kid Byrne has got a new album, and this track that you're going to listen to first of all is an intro. Then we're going to listen to a track from the album which is Fooled by the Rush of Growing Up, and this is Dreams, which also features Max Cruz. That was Kid Burn featuring Max Cruz from the album Fooled by the Rush of Growing Up, and that was Dreams. You know, on Spotify, I know we all moan about Spotify because the artists don't get an awful lot of royalties from them, but when you look up the artists, what I have found recently is that a lot of the artists aren't updating their information, so a lot of the information that's on there is quite old, and I'm finding some of the artists are dead on point with their new current stuff, which is what we want to hear about. So this is just a little plea. Artists, if you've got your profiles up on Spotify, just do a little check and make sure that it is bang up to date with your new stuff, because people want to hear about your new stuff as well as your old stuff. But sometimes when they read your old things, they may think you're not doing any more new music, and Spotify's doing this really strange thing now of listing on their landing pages the most popular tracks rather than your discography, so it sometimes can be quite confusing. So please just take a moment and update your Spotify profiles. I think keep them up to date. That's probably one thing you can do for your listeners. Next up is Rising Field with Time Shift. was Rising Field with Time Shift, and Rising Field is synthwave, dubstep and something between them both. Now I know I said about artists updating your Spotify information on your profiles, but you know, these artists that you're listening to work extremely hard getting their music out there. There is so many things that they have to do to promote their music, and I know personally how much time it takes to update profiles, to get yourselves on playlisting, all that work they have to do themselves, as well as create their music, and probably very likely holding down full-time jobs as well. So I think they deserve every appreciation that we can give them. So I'm going to follow that up with Lord D and Master. This is The Light at the End of the Tunnel, and we all like to see that, don't we?
Dusty platform, waiting for you to show. I don't know if we're gonna make it. The plans have been laid. Are we gonna make it? We can't be delayed. The light at the end of the tunnel. Did you catch my signal? Were you unaware that we could build the bridges? But I don't know if we're gonna make it. The plans have been laid. Are we gonna make it? We can't be delayed. The end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel. It's the fast train to utopia. 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 Double crossing, or crossing the line. We've got a clear road ahead. We're gonna be just fine. The light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel. It's the fast train to utopia.
Child of the 80s, big into synths, keys, chords and melodies, British sensibilities, danceable beats and a sprinkling of wit. That was Lord D and Master with The Light at the End of the Tunnel. Next up is a new artist for you that we haven't played before. This is Cut Rate Box from the album Luxury Anxiety, and this is Real Life.
Voices upon the radio waves. They sit in their studios, twisting words. coming, and the machines will not weep for you.
Don't wanna hear, don't wanna read, don't wanna learn from history. This is now and anyhow, I never see it in my feed. No one to blame, they're all the same. Any news is just pretend. Catastrophes, absurdities, entertainment in the end.
The newspaper prints it, and so you believe it. The television shows it, and so you trust it. But I say to you, do not let these sorcerers turn your heart from the truth.
Don't wanna dream, don't have the need. I've given in to the machine. I won't be bored anymore as I succumb to this disease. Wanna go and look outside, burst my bubble full of lies. Punch the like and hit subscribe. They'll notify me when I die.
Repent! Smash the idols of modernity! Smash the television that fills your home with falsehood! Burn the papers that lead your mind astray! Hallelujah!
Cut rate box there with Real Life from the album Luxury Anxiety. I don't think I can find much about them for you at the moment. If I do, I will make sure that I post it onto Facebook. At the moment, they've only got a Spotify profile. I'll keep you posted with that. Another new artist for you next is Frontal Boundary. This is Hate. Frontal Boundary there with Hate. Now, Frontal Boundary is an industrial EBM music project founded by Brendan Ross in 2002, known for its blend of agrotech, synth pop and raw emotional expression. I think that warmed the temperature up a bit, didn't it? Next up is S Way with Magnetic Mood. This is from the Outlaw Rider album. Away there, all the way from Mexico with Magnetic Mood from the Outlaw Rider album. Next up is another new artist for you. This is Nacho Wav with 3am, and I'll tell you a little bit about them when we come back. Nacho Wav there with 3 a.m. There's something about 3 a.m. in the morning, isn't there? It's supposed to be our most creative period of time of the day, to get up at 3 a.m. and go and do or write or create. And a lot of the artists do that, you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning. They wake up with a song in their head and they write it down, because otherwise they get up in the morning and then they forget. Nacho Wav is a synthwave and electronic music producer based in Koblenz in Germany, blending elements of synth pop, industrial techno and retro futuristic soundscapes. His music channels nostalgic 80s vibes with a modern edge, and I think you'll agree that was a great track. Really going to enjoy listening to that again in the Beastie Tracks, which, as you know, is on Spotify. The link will be on my Facebook page. Right, well, I think I need another cup of tea, so you might want to go and get your cup of tea, your cup of coffee, your glass of wine or your pint of ale as we listen to the last track in set 2. It's going to set us up really nicely for set 3, which, as you know, is the palette changers, the opportunity for other artists from other genres to have their music on the show as well. This is another new artist for you. This is Crystal System with Eclats Rouge. They are from Paris, and I'll tell you a little bit about them when we come back, and then we'll head in to set 3. I'm now off for me cuppa.
Soyez sûr de vous distraire. Inoubliable sans merci, le combat ne s'achèvera qu'à terre. Pour les pas réveillés, contactez vos bouquets mécars. Le ring à l'approche et mon sourire sous les lumières. Que la chance arrive à Noël, mais pas durant la durée, vu que la chance arrive à Noël, mais point endurant. Que la chance arrive à Noël, mais point endurant. Que la chance arrive à Noël, mais point durant la durée du round. Travailler au corps et dans les corps, décosser la chair. La rouge, des tas d'étoiles étalées sur les paupières. Quelle en ligne entraîne matraqué pour qu'il tombe à terre. Des tas d'éclats rouges, des tas d'étoiles étalées sur les paupières. Que la chance arrive à Noël, mais peu durant la durée. Vu que la chance arrive à Noël, mais peu durant. Vu que la chance arrive à Noël, mais peu durant la durée. Vu que la chance arrive à Noël, mais peu durant. Que la chance arrive à Noël, mais peu durant la durée. Vu que la chance arrive à Noël, mais peu la durée. Vu que la chance arrive à Noël, mais peu durant la durée. Vu que la chance arrive à Noël, mais peu durant la durée du round. L'état d'éclat rouge, l'état d'étoile étalé sur les paupières. L'état d'éclat rouge, l'état d'étoile étalé sur les paupières. L'état d'éclat rouge, l'état d'étoile étalé sur les paupières. L'état d'éclat rouge, l'état d'étoile étalé sur les paupières.
Electro metal band there from Paris, Alpha Matrix label. That was Crystal System with Eclats Rouge. Now for set 3.
You're listening to Spectrum On Air, the colourful voice of radio. Broadcasting live on SpectrumOnAir.com, Get Me Radio and Mixcloud Live. And never fear, if you've missed your favourite programme, just find our Listen Again service on Mixcloud.com. Spectrum On Air, putting the colour back into radio.
Thank you, the wonderful Mr. Steve Blacknell there, whose book is doing great guns. You need to go and look it up. It's on Amazon, and it's Tales from the Bedroom Wall by Steve Blacknell. I'm taking mine on holiday. I've put it down. I would have read it cover to cover, but I'm going to savour it for when I'm on my long plane journey. Now, just a quick reminder before we dive into set 3 and some fabulous new artists for you to get to know. Next week, the 23rd of August, I've done another long play show for you. I've included lots of tracks that are over 5 minutes long, because sometimes we don't have the airplay in the normal 2-hour show to play tracks that are longer than 5 minutes, and a lot of radio stations won't even entertain them if they're longer than 4. So we do, and we are delighted to be able to share some long plays for you, because we think it gives you the opportunity to really get to know the artists that are submitting their music to us. So next week, the 23rd of August, is the long play show. I'm away and I will be posting it early, but unfortunately Facebook scheduling doesn't seem to work the way we want it to, so I'm going to have to try and do the promo while I'm away. But don't worry, you will get to hear it, and I will give you the notification and tag all the artists on there too. Now then, the wonderful Terry Batt and I, as you know, go out and we gig together. Terry does his set, and he kindly invites me in between his sets to do some of my Diana Ross, my Cilla Brack, my Dionne Warwick, all of those oldies that we know, like and love in between his set. And he came across this young man on a campsite in North Norfolk this week, and he said, Suzanne, you need to hear this young man and you need to get him on the radio show. So that is exactly what I'm doing. You're going to listen to this artist that Terry found in a campsite in North Norfolk, and that's the beauty of my show. And I really, really relish in people sending me artists that they think worthy of being on the radio and also getting some important airplay that they wouldn't normally get. So you're going to listen to Grady Kinnell now with his new track £2 VBL.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I was home, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. My friends are all getting off on £3 Venoms and £2 VBLs, and I just can't wait to lie down in my bed. And all my friends say I should just lighten up, but I guess I'm not the type for going out all night long, all night long. It's so long. It's like I would rather stay up in my bed than watch one of my friends try to get a girl in bed all night long, all night long, all night long. I wish I was home, it's like 3 a.m. and all of my friends are still driving me around the bend. It's so long, all night long, all night. I just can't wait to get home, back to bed.
That was the incredible Grady Kinnell. Now, Grady is a 20-year-old Scottish singer-songwriter from Kelty in Scotland. He first started writing music at the tender age of 16 and has been continuing to create new music since then. And having a look at Grady's Instagram account and his Facebook account, he writes about things that he's in the moment. So he'll just sit there with his guitar and he'll just come up with a song a little bit like Ed Sheeran. But I think you'll agree he's probably one that we need to be all watching. And he's got quite an impressive following already, so he's getting something right, and we are delighted to share his music with you. I also want to say that Terry asked me to send out a message of condolences to family of his dear friend Graham Fenton from the band Matchbox, who sadly passed away last week. His hits were Rockabilly Rebel, Midnight Dynamos, Don't Cry on My Shoulder, and Buzz Buzz and Somewhere Over the Rainbow. He's going to be sadly missed, and Terry just wanted to send out a message to the family with his heartfelt sympathies at this very sad time. Now then, how am I going to follow that up? Well, Tegan Nolan, on behalf of Keith McLaughlin, who does our wonderful Irish music show here on Spectrum On Air, is supporting her and her releases, and he sent across to me her brand new release, which is Pretty on Purpose. And I'll tell you a little bit about Tegan when we come back.
Pretty on purpose, unbothered by choice. Pretty on purpose, unbothered by choice. I'm not here to fit in, I'm here to stand out. Just look at the pink, you never see me without. I got that hair flick, cute chick energy. I don't do average, I do extraordinary. Yeah. Pretty on purpose, unbothered by choice. There's pretty in my actions, pretty in my voice. You can hate me all you want, that won't make you any prettier. Trying to compete with me only proves you feel inferior. Oh, you see me shine, you want it in my light. You want the crown, but can't wear it right. Jealousy doesn't suit you, it's washing you out. You can't stand, I'm the one people are talking about. Pretty on purpose, unbothered by choice. There's pretty in my actions, pretty in my voice. You can hate me all you want, that won't make you any prettier. Trying to compete with me only proves you feel inferior. Oh, I don't chase attention, I attract it effortlessly. You can hate me all you want, you'll never be me. Jealousy is just the ugly side of admiration. I'm full of confidence, don't need your validation. Pretty on purpose, unbothered by choice. There's pretty in my actions, pretty in my voice. You can hate me all you want, that won't make you any prettier. Trying to compete with me only proves you feel inferior. Oh, pretty on purpose, unbothered by choice. Pretty on purpose, unbothered by choice.
That was Tegan Nolan there with Pretty on Purpose. You know, this young lady knows all about hard work. She is really, really working hard on her brand, which is quite a clever thing to do at such a young age. With a list of achievements and accolades that most dream of over the course of an entire career, she's appeared 4 times as a singer and a dancer on The Late Late Show, gracing the stage at the Junior Eurovision Island in 22 and 23, and for 4 years running with Ollie Panto as a dancer and a vocalist, winning singing competitions, including Perform, starring in Christmas events. The list goes on and on and on, and she is working tirelessly. This young lady deserves to have some success. Moving on before we run out of time, because I know we will, Trey Callaway is back with us with Must Have Had a Good Time.
Woke up on my couch again, bed still made, it ain't been slept in. I can't find my clothes or my keys. There ain't no truck parked in my drive, I guess I cabbed it home last night. Looks like my friends and I got on the whiskey. I must have had a good time last night. Gotta clear the cobwebs from my mind. Opened up his bloodshot red eyes and it felt like a jackhammer pounding my head. Where did this tattoo come from? I can't remember one thing I've done, but judging by the bar receipt I just found from last night, I must have had a good time. We went downtown to hear some blues, was just gonna have us a beer or two. Then Tony ordered all of us a shot on me. It all went downhill from there. Those Jaeger bombs and the smoky air sure did a number on my memory. I must have had a good time last night. Gotta clear the cobwebs from my mind. Opened up his bloodshot red eyes and it felt like a jackhammer pounding my head. Where did this tattoo come from? I can't remember one thing I've done, but judging by the bar receipt I just found from last night, yeah, we must have had a good time. Gonna have to find my phone, call my buddy for a ride. No, I don't remember, but this will remind me what I did last night. Must have had a good time last night. Gotta clear the cobwebs from my mind. Opened up his bloodshot red eyes and it felt like a jackhammer pounding my head. Where did this tattoo come from? I can't remember one thing I've done, but judging by the bar receipt and the photos I got and all the photos on my phone we took last night, must have had a good time. Yeah.
North Carolina grown and Nashville based, that was Trey Calloway. Grew up singing gospel music and was a seasoned performer by the age of just 10. And as a teen, he developed a deep understanding and passion for the rocking, boot-stomping storytelling of country music. And he's been writing and performing ever since. That was a brilliant track. I really enjoyed listening to the story in that one. Next up is Mika, another artist that's helped by Keith McLaughlin from Beardfire Music Studio. This is X's.
We're talking about how you've been, how's your friends, how's your mom, how's it hanging? You drop me off with a kiss on the cheek, act like we could be friends. It's killing me. I hate this feeling, it's twisting me like it's our last trip, our ending. We say that there's nothing there, it rips us apart. It's so unfair. Just makes us pretend like we could be friends. We're never meant it. Just makes us pretend, break it down again. Love not what you said it. Just makes
from Tipperary there in Ireland. She has a range of vocals that rivals industry icons like Sia and Lady Gaga, and she's set to make waves in the music industry, and I think you'll agree she definitely is. Another new artist for you coming up next. This is Rivia with A Piece of You, and I'll tell you a little bit about them when we come back.
You're right off the deep end. I don't wanna be like you. Unrecognizable from the person I once knew. I should've known better. I fell for a while now. I probably regret it, but I didn't wanna let you down. No, we can't wait. No, we can't wait any longer, any longer. Won't play your game any longer, any longer. Keep trying to hit the reset, but I don't wanna start again. There ain't no place like home, but it's not like it was back then. It wasn't what you wanted, but you get what you deserve. We can't waste a minute, we won't waste a minute, so don't waste a minute now. No, we can't wait any longer, any longer. Won't play your game any longer, any longer. I've got that sinking feeling, run out of ways to healing. I don't know what to do, still want a piece of you. I got that sinking feeling, run out of ways to healing. I don't know what to do, still want a piece of you. No, we can't wait any longer, any longer. Won't play your game any longer, any longer. I got that sinking feeling, run out of ways to heal it. I don't know what to do, still want a piece of you.
Rivia are a four-piece band from Liverpool on a mission to drag pop punk music back into the spotlight, kicking, screaming and sounding good while they're doing it. That was A Piece of You. Andy Alston is up next with a singer that he first recorded with about 40 years ago. This is just them two in a studio, and they recorded about 6 songs. It was just a piano and the vocals, and it is absolutely raw but beautiful because you know that it's sung live and you can tell that they're just enjoying the vibe and improvising with this track, and it's such a well-known track as well. But the most difficult part in this is making it your own and making it sound different, but also remembering the essence of the song. And I think Mary Kiani here has done just that. She's grabbed the song by the throat, she's singing it live, she's fully immersed in the moment, and they are both together creating something that I think is quite magical. And that happens sometimes when you go off-piste and you intentionally create something that is quite magical and is often very, very difficult to replicate. So I think Andy may think about releasing this song. So this is the two of them, and this is I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Andy Alston and Mary Kiani.
Whoa, I bet you're wondering how I knew. Baby, 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 about your plans to make me blue.
all the girl I knew before. Between the two of us, girls, you know I love you more. It took me by surprise, I must say, that I found out yesterday. Don't you know that I heard it through the grapevine? Now much longer would you be mine? Don't you know that I heard it through the grapevine? And I'm just about to lose my mind. Oh, yes I am. Oh, baby, won't you listen to me? Oh, take a good look at these tears in my eyes. Baby, 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 these tears I can't hold inside. Losing you would ruin my life, you see, because you mean that much to me. Could have told me yourself that you love somebody else. Instead I heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine. Don't you know that I heard it through the grapevine? And I'm just about to lose my mind. Oh, yes I am. Oh, baby, won't you listen to me? Tears in my eyes. Baby, 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 these tears I can't hold inside. Losing you would ruin my life, you see, because you mean that much to me. Could have told me yourself that you love somebody else. Instead I heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine. Don't you know that I heard it through the grapevine? And I'm just about to lose my mind. Oh, yes I am. Oh, yes I am. Oh, yes I am. Oh, I heard it through the grapevine. I heard it through the grapevine. I heard it through the grapevine. I heard it through the grapevine.
That was recorded in the days before Delamitri. That was Andy Olsen and Mary Kiani. Can you imagine singing that perfectly, just off the cuff like that? Just messing about in a studio and recording it. How wonderful is that recording? And can you imagine today, 40 years later, the polishing that that track would have? And what an incredible voice that lady has. That is just absolutely brilliant track. And guess what? We're ready for set 4. Oh, I've got to be quick. We're into set 4 and I haven't got long with you. But first up, I'm going to play that tribute song for Terry Back, for the family of Graham Fenton, who Terry knew very well from Matchbox, who sadly passed away last week. This is Matchbox and this is Buzz Buzz a Diddle It.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This one's called Buzz Buzz a Diddle It. Well, by the sound I had to, but Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Do you feel good? Do you want to rock and roll? Do you really want to rock and roll?
There you go, Terry. That was Matchbox. Buzz buzz a diddle it. Right, next up is Mystic Alpum. This is Touch by Touch.
Touch by touch, you're my all-time lover. When I feel the time is right and you're staying by my side, and the love you give to me, it makes my heart beat. When my fantasies fly away, but my feelings make me stay, I see the fire in your eyes, it makes my heart beat. Do it, twist it, do it, night and day. You're my all-time lover. Do it, twist it, do it, in a way like there is no other. Touch by touch, you're my all-time lover. Skin to skin, come under my cover. When my heart is full of love, it makes me a turtle dove. Love's the game that we play night and day. When our love is clear and bright, it's our way to see the light. There's a fire in our hearts night and day. Do it, twist it, do it, night and day. You're my all-time lover. Do it, twist it, do it, in a way like there is no other. Touch by touch, you're my all-time lover. Skin to skin, come under my cover. Touch by touch, skin to skin. Oh, yeah. Do it, twist it, do it, night and day. You're my all-time lover. Do it, twist it, do it, in a way like there is no other. Touch by touch, you're my all-time lover. Skin to skin, come under my cover. Touch by touch, you're my all-time lover.
Mystic Alpin there with Touch by Touch, and I'm following that up with another track from Beyond Aram. This is from the Love's Great Fairy Tale album. Played you one last week. This is another track. This is Shed This Skin.
Got to be on my way, ready to seize the day. Just need to get out, break free, cut loose, shed this skin. Going on my way to a
let your path find you.
No need to hurry. We've been in your shoes.
You have not a clue.
Take time for growing.
My head's exploded. No longer bear to stay, leaving here come one may. Can't you hear the call outside these walls? Shed your skin. I'm the one in charge. Wanna live in life. Got this fire inside, burning up my mind.
You got to get back home.
Don't do this on your own.
We're here to help you through.
To where you're going. We've been in your shoes.
You have not a clue.
Take time for growing.
My head's exploded. Say learn from your mistakes. Now it's my turn to make them. Like you in your day, walking in those shoes. Just gotta shed that skin. Going on my way to a better day. Time to try new things. Gotta spread my wings. Oh, yeah. Come on. I'm the one in charge. Wanna live in love. Got a fire within. Time to shed the skin.
Beyond Aram there with Shed This Skin. You know, if they ever did a sequel to The Greatest Showman, I think they should have Aram in that. I really do think he would do the title lead a great justice. Next up is Rogue FX with We Belong.
Out of the dark, into the light. It's a new day, it's a new night.
Andrew Wood there as Rogue FX with We Belong. What a brilliant track that was. Rogue FX is UK-based Andrew Wood of the 80s synth pop group Please and the 90s house music outfit Base Value, who has had records released on Reaching Records. Great to have Andrew and Rogue FX on the show. Always love to air his tracks. Next up is synth fellow Hawk. I played one last week for you. This is from the album Subterranean, and this is Ride With Us featuring Kleiner 82. Synth fella Hawk there with Ride With Us featuring Kleiner 82. Next up is another track from Jesse Mack. This is from the Ashes Overdrive album and this is Fuel Born Fury. was Jessie Mack there with Fuel Born Fury. Now all that remains is for me to say thank you very much for joining me. I've thoroughly enjoyed creating tonight's show. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, playing all of these tracks for you. They are all going to be loaded up into the Beastie Tracks on Spotify. The link will be there for you on my Facebook page, where I'll also be tagging all of the artists you're listening to this evening, so you can go find, look them up, follow and share their music as well. And don't forget to share the show. We're climbing up the Mixcloud charts rapidly. I think we're number 14 in the synthwave and number 18 in the Indietronica charts, so it's great to have that support from you. Please do go and find us. We're going to play out tonight now to Elenis. This is from the album Another World. This is Find You. So I'm going to say goodnight, God bless, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.